Good day. Welcome to Austin, Manitoba. And today, I don't know if this will actually work. If they even want me filming, I'll go ask them. But there is the open house of some sort of wool processing facility that's just opening up here in town. They have an open house here today. I'm gonna go in and see what I can learn about what this new business is. Okay, so I went in and talked to the staff. So I'm signed up to go on a tour of the facility at 2:30. The foyer there looks like this part here is a store, and it's very full today because it's an open house, so everyone is crowded in there. So it's pretty loud, can't hear much, can't see a lot because it's just people sort of packed in shoulder to shoulder. So I'll try to show that a little bit later, maybe they'll empty out a little bit. But this back part here, I think this is where the processing is, so that's what we're gonna go get a tour of. So I'm gonna come back in a little bit when my tour is up and they said it's okay to film, so we'll see what we can get.
To start with by touching the wool that's in that bag. Yep. It's got lanolin on it still, and so it's like a free hand lotion right there. That's straight from the farm. You might smell like sheep though too. So this is a washing room. So when we get the sheep wool in, it's been shorn at the farm, so that doesn't happen here. We just get the bag of wool like that. And it's dirty, it's not been cleaned, now we've skirted it, we've taken the big chunks off, we put it into a tumbler outside, and the tumbler then like just tumbles it. So one sheep's wool at a, or sheep's fleece at a time. Once that's done, we bring it back in, and then we wash it. So this machine is the washing machine, and it heats up to 181 degree Fahrenheit hot water. And so we just put that fleece in here. It's still dirty, it's not perfect, we still want to wash it. And what we need to do is take the lanolin off, because the machines get clogged up with the lanolin. It doesn't like that. Once felt per rack, and it's just with a fan there overnight, it'll be dry in the morning. And if you felt that, you should feel that, because it does not feel the same. That's way crunchier. But now it doesn't have any lanolin on it.
The lanolin, that's just like the oil of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is still very like chunky. You can't knit with this yet. And so the point of this machine is to start to fluff it up. It does that by the two drums inside have different kinds of tines on them. And you can come and have a look. One of them has really big tines, and the other one's really small, and so it's meant to separate it and get it really fluffy.
Okay, at this point I'm going to do some narration because the noise level in the room is getting too high. So this is the fiber separator, and what it does is it removes the coarse fibers from the wool. What you see in the bin back here, this is the good stuff that they're going to keep. Now this machine beside it, it looks similar, but it's called a carder. And what the carder does is it aligns the fibers, and it makes the batch of wool into either just plain batting, like the same stuff you would stuff in a pillow or a quilt, or it can weave it together into what's called a roving. And that's that rope-like looking yarn coming out the bottom there, and then it just ends up in the pail in the container. Okay, now you take the roving and you go to the draw frame. That's what this machine here is. So the draw frame will take one or two or more of the roves and they'll weave it in together, and because the rolls are moving at different speeds through the machine, it tends to stretch out the material, so you're combining but also stretching out. So this is the spinner. So now that you've drawn out your roves, now you feed them through the spinner. The spinner is what's going to take it and spin it together into actual what starts to look a lot like yarn. So it will spin onto the bobbin, and you can adjust a lot of stuff with this machine for coarseness or thickness of the yarn. So next we have the pliers, and the pliers balance the yarn, and they take couple yarns and they will twist them together with opposite twists. And this increased strength, but also takes the natural twist out of the yarn so that when you let go of the strand, it doesn't want to ball up into a knot.
There we go.
Now these next two machines seem to be used together. The one on the left with those tubes, that's a steamer, and the yarn passes from a spool through the steamer and circles back to what's called the cone winder, where it's simply wound onto a bigger spool. Now the purpose of the steamer is that it sets the twist of the yarn, so it stops trying to unravel or change, and it blooms the yarn, which means it sort of fluffs it up, so it softens up the yarn, and it fluffs up into what you would recognize as yarn. Okay, and lastly, we have the skein winder. The skein winder simply takes the yarn that's on those larger cone-shaped spools or bobbins or whatever you call them, and simply winds them up onto a looser spool. And you can program in the length, so you can say exactly how many meters of yarn you want per batch, and it's ready for sale. So that's about it for the tour. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. Leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.